Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with another loaded episode of VR news, but we're going to try our best to not ramble too much because we have a loaded day on our end loading up in anticipation of MetaConnect. So we're so excited about that, but longtime listeners will know we've never missed a week of episodes. So in order to guarantee that, it's time to load up today, baby. So we'll try to not ramble too much, but we have some exciting stuff to talk about, like, for example, Walkabout Mini Golf's newest DLC course, Mars Gardens, released, and it's freaking awesome. Maybe one of the hardest courses I think they've put out for finding balls, but a very simplistic course for, actually playing.
Yeah, they brought new mechanics again into this one, just by course design alone, with some of the things you'll have to do just to get to the hole. But I absolutely love this course.
Yeah, I had a blast with it. Again, finding the balls, pretty hard on this one, but the actual gameplay of the easy and the hard mode were a blast for sure.
I think it's probably the hardest ball finding one.
Yeah, I don't know.
In my opinion.
Edward was in a mood when he was hiding those ones.
Well, and just looking at the scenery, you're like, there's so many possibilities.
We came to that realization on the first hole, I think. You were like, I'm going to let the community get a hold of this one.
I think it was the second or third, too, where there's like tall grass growing or something, and I'm like, it could literally be anywhere. And I know how this works. You have to be looking at the right angle to find it. And I even tried some of the known, like, helpers of going underground and kind of looking to see if I can see the ball.
Did no good.
Didn't work. Flew, didn't work. I'm like, oh, shit. So I was happy when I saw other people posting that, like,
it wasn't just us.
The struggle to find a, yeah. Sometimes I wonder, like, is it just me? But dude, I like this one so much. I've been playing it solo.
Yeah, and we both got really good scores on it. Our first run of it, we both got under par. Not the case for the hard mode. Getting under par in hard mode is a different story. But it's called Mars Gardens, not Mars. So it doesn't take place in the open Mars. It takes place in a dome.
Biodome.
Kind of like Grim-esque with the Mars biodome. And it's so fun, but there's kind of like a hidden little thing about it too, because I saw some people online posting like, oh, I wish that there was no gravity with it because it's in Mars or low gravity. And in fact, if you go to select the course, if you go to the hamburger menu, the 3 dots next to the play button on the course, and you click it and then you go to custom game before you launch the course, you can't change it during the course, but at that point in the custom game, you can change it from normal gravity to low gravity.
Yeah, which is 38% of Earth. So,
and it was
things
fun.
are going to be a little lighter, but not like moon gravity. So it changes. I got a much better score.
It's a bit easier because you can skip some of the areas that they set like barriers that you're going to bounce off of. You can just go right over.
Which you can do in gravity mode.
Let's be real, not nearly as easy.
No. So all I did for that is I fired it up, and then I did the first hole with the gravity on Mars gravity, which I guess is kind of weird that they could do that inside a biodome, but I won't nitpick.
Well, I think that's why it's defaultly normal.
Yeah.
It's only in the low if you choose it in the custom game.
But then I just wanted to know, like, how's the ball going to react? And that's when I realized if you hit it nice and light, you're going to get the same reaction. But if you go to launch over
my goodness.
That's when you need to scale back. But yeah, I got them under 10.
That's very good for your first run on the low gravity.
Correct.
And I agree. That's the biggest tip I would give on the low gravity. Don't hit it hard. Light hits are your friend because it's low gravity. You can, like you said, very easily launch that thing way past the hole.
Oh, yeah. For putting, I just hit it normal. But for any obstacle. And then I had to dumb down a lot of the way I played with gravity off. Like doing the banks. Because it's going to roll right over a bank and keep going. So you got to really just kind of give it just the slightest tap to go around those. I even sacrificed distance because I already knew. I'm like, my ball's going to.
And there's a couple of the holes that are like par 4 or par 5 on low gravity. Well, on regular too, but in low gravity mode, it's like, oh, this doesn't need to be a par 4 or par 5. Those are your opportunities to get really ahead on the score on that one.
Yeah, you can bang out at least 2 eagles, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's
just by skipping so much of the hole.
Hole in one potentials all over the place.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you have very little margin of room for error to pull it off. But
right away I went to the other courses to be like, is this something I missed in the other courses? Can you do low gravity in all the courses? But no, I only saw it in Mars Gardens. So
I checked also because I'm like, I'm about to feel really stupid if I love Walkabout this much and I never knew that something was there. But
yeah,
and I grabbed a new avatar. So I'm now the Wallace and Gromit dog there.
Nice. I like their little avatar packs that they're starting to do as well too. I mean, they've always put out some avatar, not always, but that's something they've done in the past of putting out avatars with courses. But now they're going to be doing like the Fraggle Rock avatar pack and stuff like that.
There was one character. I'm not a Fraggle Rock guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a little after my time, I'll say, but
you just imagine your Walkabout person as that character.
Well, there's one of them. I was like, I definitely would get that one.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see the spread, and I mean, I can't ever say anything. But there's not been a Walkabout course that I haven't absolutely loved.
Yeah, for $3.99, Walkabout again crushes it. Always a big fan on our end. But we'll be honest, if there's ever a course that's not great, we'll let you know. But
I don't think it's going to happen.
So far, they have an undefeated track record.
The only one that it ever could have been in my head would have been Upside Down.
But we actually enjoyed it.
Preferably called Upside Downtown.
Yeah, that's how we have fun with it.
But I liked it.
Yeah.
So it's like I understood, though, other people not liking it just because of, hitting the ball on the wall or having to hit it on your ceiling. I get it. But me personally, I'm keep them coming.
I hope we get another Evil Layers
I think so.
course soon. I think that might be my favorite series of courses.
Really?
Yeah, it's so fun. With all there's so much potential with it, both with the laser layer and then the penguin one, the Arctic one. Come on, man! So they're 2-0 with great.
I don't really have. I can't pick a favorite.
No.
I have ones that I like more than others.
That's why I went for a whole series.
And I hate to say it,
that's my only hope.
Like the original, and then when they were doing their voting on Discord they put courses against each other. Oh, dude, I was voting every day.
Do you think that they're going to remaster other courses like they did with Cherry Blossom, like some more of their original ones? Do you think that was a little test?
Why not?
Ooh,
dude, they've got such a catalog they could play with.
Walkabout.
Just do Quest 3 enhancements.
Mm-hmm. Walkabout continuing to crush it. This is another hole-in-one from them. And like I said, easy to miss low gravity mode if you've already played the course. It's worth it to go back in. I mean, hell, every
Walkabout.
Yeah, you're going to play every course multiple times, but go back in just to do that low gravity mode.
Cherry Blossom.
Yeah. All the original ones are so good. That's why I was wondering if they would remaster them because they still hold up. I didn't even.
I'd love to see
them.
Labyrinth, like visually enhanced for the Quest. Not that graphics are an issue. Everything flows and jives as it always has. But if we're gonna spend Walkabout money, why not?
Well, there's certain courses that came out when there was still the Quest 1 as the limitation. And then there was a certain point in their DLC releases where they said, the DLCs aren't going to come out for the Quest, but I forget exactly which one that was. So, to your point, there's a certain amount of DLCs that came out in the Quest 1 era. Mm-hmm. And the Quest 2 is a big, that's a big step up. And wait till the day that the Quest 2 is phased out and it's, the Quest 3 is a whole different animal. I mean, we'll go to the next one in a moment because it kind of leads to how good things run on the Quest 3. But another hole-in-one from Walkabout Mini Golf. They crushed it with Mars Gardens, and I'm curious if they're going to do even more space ones. If this is going to be a new series, like we see with Evil Layers.
What won't they do?
Yeah.
It's endless, and we know their storyboard of whatever you want to call it, of potential games coming out or new courses is abundant. It's the only thing I'd ever want to see in their studio. Believe it or not.
That whiteboard or whatever it is, the files, just however.
Turn me around 10 times, put a hood over my head, walk me into the room that's got it. Let me just peek at it for 2 seconds.
Some drawer of manila folders in Lucas Martel's desk, of the top secret upcoming courses.
Need an NDA just to walk down the hall. That's actually probably true because we've seen that firsthand. Just for the scenery in a studio. Like, nope, don't mention none of that. Like, nope, didn't see nothing. All right, I got a good one. And it's no shock that, that
we're going to talk about it.
Well, I'm going to talk about it every week. till it comes out and everyone gets to enjoy it. But no, I go into Grim frequently. I also, obviously, I'm in their Discord. So whenever Spoonfed does I'm going to try to call him Spoonfed instead of Spoon because it is his name. I feel bad. But Spoonfed's always posting updates. Server
just
fixes.
like
Spoon. Yeah, I just like calling him Spoon. And there was one that dropped the other day, and I'm like, let me see how this is. So I will say firsthand, don't know why. I mean, it never ran bad for me anyways, PCVR or standalone, but I prefer to grab it on standalone. But holy Moses, the smoothness was like undeniably there. So no rhyme or reason. Don't know what magic Spoonfed's working on, but took a great thing and made it even greater. And then there's a lot of visual updates and upgrades they did to, like, when you take the sulfur out of your backpack now, it's got detailed like chunks of the sulfur around it. So there's a lot of visual upgrades that went down, like blatantly noticeable. And then now you have a bone knife that you can make, which means you have to collect bone for it. So now we've got bone in the equation, and there's a bone club that you can also make, which I did not. I just went in there and ran around, and then I bumped into Ark. Had a little quick conversation. I offered myself as a sacrifice because I had to jump off anyways, and he didn't take it. He was like, "Nah, man, you're cool," which made me feel good because that means that when this game drops, there might be groups of people who aren't necessarily going to be as cutthroat as other groups of people.
I'm very curious to see the social dynamic when this thing comes out.
It's going to be like 90%. You know, we see you, we're going to blow up. Now that, Spoonfed posted fucking rocket launcher, dude, it's game over now.
It'd be funny to see a group like turn into like enforcer, like police enforcer, and like you start to act up, they just rocket launcher you from a distance.
Actually makes me want a private server to a degree, just for our group, and then open it up, let people in, and just, whatever. It's reminding me more of like I could see the potential to like pay a monthly rental for it. So like the old CS servers we used to run and stuff, pay like $10 a month or something.
I think the gameplay in Grim is so impressive. The fact that they have a map that size is so impressive. But one of the most impressive aspects of Grim to me at this point is the art team behind it.
Yeah,
like they deserve an award when this is all said and done. The fact that it looks that good on...
It looked good 2 months ago.
And it's just getting better and better and better.
Yeah,
it's remarkable.
I'm telling you, that line between PCVR and standalone is getting smaller and smaller.
Again, huge props to...
Grim's a great example of that.
Again, the fact that looks the way it does with that size of map and all those interactions and building and gameplay mechanics, and
so much more coming.
It's so impressive.
It's crazy.
So
that's my weekly Grim update. Huge changes were made.
Art's better and it's running even smoother than before.
Runs even smoother. I was thinking of it this morning.
So it's looking better and more optimized.
So I'm getting ready today, and I'm thinking, like, when we first started playing it, I loved it. And yes, I understood there were areas that it could be improved, and it was. And
that's the case with every game, right?
It reached a point like easily a month or two ago where I'm like, this is good. This is ready. Like, what are we really waiting for here? This feels ready to me. And then now it's even better. So I'm just going to keep my pie hole shut with the ready crap, because
when it's ready for Spoon, then it'll be ready.
Yeah, but dude, vicious upgrades.
Yeah, and
just vicious.
The rate of them is insane. So huge props.
It's always, dude, it's a list. A mega list.
Dude, I'm so excited. Like I said, see the social dynamic, to really see this thing release into the public. It's going to be very interesting to see. I think it's going to take the VR, like, for this player base by storm.
For this niche, they're gonna own it.
There's going to be a lot of people.
There's only two, Strayed and Grim. And I own Strayed. I've played Strayed. I'll probably play it again but I'm not going to compare it to Grim. It's its own thing with similarities, but each will have their own lane. But when this drops, it's going to be like, look out.
It's going to rock, I think, the VR industry a bit in terms of like just stealing away player base. Yeah.
If you're a Rust player, yeah, you already know.
And then the word's going to get out that there's Rust in VR. The word's going to spread like wildfire.
dude, some of the best Rust players are
already looking at it.
Already looking.
Mm-hmm.
People with 14,000 hours.
And that's what we're going to be up against. You know that, right? We have this little head start in Grim, but so much of Rust, I think, is going to carry over.
Rust players are going to come in and instantly
pick up what to do.
Instantly fit in. There's no learning curve for them. You know what else changed? The fucking home screen. Yep.
The only thing more surprising than that would have been if you told me a tutorial.
Almost to a scary degree. Well, let me finish, I guess. So remember when we load in, you're in like a dark bunkerish kind of thing, and then you hit settings or play game. Now you load in, and right in front of your face is a dude in a spacesuit sitting in a chair, which kind of freaked me out at first because I thought
like you were already
just loaded
in the game.
me into a game. And if somebody's sitting there just going to pop me, man, he's already got a spacesuit and everything. And then you've got your start game options and all that, but you're now inside the biodome, and you've got your full ability of what you can build. I'm 99% positive you can actually build, like practice build, just to get familiar. But yeah, so now you load into the actual biodome as your home screen, and then you start the game and it actually loads it.
Okay.
Yeah, he had talked about doing a tutorial.
That would be only thing more surprising that would be getting him on, the fact that we got him on for an interview. I mean, I never thought we would see a tutorial on this.
It's almost time for, that was what, like half a year ago?
Time goes so fast, I would need to pull up the date. Could be 3 months ago, could be 6 months ago.
I'm thinking we need to see if we can get spoon-fed on again. Give an update on where we're at.
100% too when it's time for launch. If he's down.
I'd rather grab him like the week after launch.
Give him a week. Oh, you know he's going to be nuts that week.
We'll get him on. We'll try to get him on one time.
He's going to put out 4 updates the week of launch.
We know it's supposed to be
the week after. I mean,
no, the 24 hours before it goes live. There'll be like some massive updates that nobody in the world saw coming. But no, if we get him on, because it's supposed to come out this quarter, allegedly, all things subject to change, of course. But then get him on right after launch. That'd be huge. That'd be 3 spoon-fed interviews in like less than a year. Yeah.
Wild stuff.
That's huge.
So big improvements to Grim, though. I'm so excited to spend even more time in there. So we talked last week about some leaks coming of the Quest 3S, the kind of light version of the Quest 3. Last week we had some pictures leaked by Meta as well. And now this week, leaked.
That's a strong word.
Yeah, well, it showed up in the files of their Oculus PC app, I believe.
Wasn't leaked. They allowed someone to find.
Correct.
Yeah.
And now a Quest 3 action button was officially referenced on a MetaQuest support page. And the action button is going to be a button on the headset to toggle between VR and mixed reality. Because right now they have that like 2-tap method where you tap the headset twice, but it's maybe a little barbaric, right? I think a button kind of makes sense. But they're already putting up support pages for this. And there's like...
Well, we know it's real.
It's coming. I mean, it's...
there's no... Now it's just a matter of when's it coming.
Yeah, I mean...
That's the $1 million question.
We were talking last week about when it'll come. You think it'll be available for pre-order and like shipping after Connect. I think maybe you can pre-order, but it's going to come out in October is my guess. Let's see.
October feels more realistic to me, but I just don't want to... Well, I'm gambling here. I could be right. I could be wrong.
Well, if they're putting up support pages, I might be wrong. I mean, that they might have that baby ready to go at Connect. Now I'm having second guesses, but I'm going to stick to my guns.
Or we're both right. You can pre-order it, and then you'll receive it like second week of October.
That's my guess. That's how I think it'll be. I think they'll let you purchase it on Connect, but I don't think you'll be getting that baby till like October 15th, 14th, something like that. But I don't know, man. If support pages are going up, I'm having second guesses about my own prediction.
I mean, well, if there's something to be said, it'll be said in 2 weeks. So
yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited to be in person for Connect.
Weeks. Jesus.
Yeah, we're flying out in what, a week? 8 days.
Next Monday.
Yeah, we fly out in a week. So
and Monday night.
Wild stuff.
Back home Friday afternoon.
So we'll be able to report about the keynote. Like our first hand impressions about it. Anything that we see.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So long as it's allowed. I know
that's the hope. Yeah, I just had the big like neon NDA sign flashing in my head.
My life is just one big NDA at this point. Eat them for breakfast at this point.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not a party without an NDA.
I chuckle when I get the NDAs to sign. But I don't even need to sign it. Just
at least we have a good track record. We've never broken it yet.
Knock on wood. No mistakes, no accidents.
No, we take NDAs.
Sometimes it's tough too because we'll have conversations with people and 50% of the conversation is clearly stuff you can't discuss. But all this stuff over here, you can talk about. Mm-hmm. So there's been times where we've been talking, and as it's coming out of my mouth, I'm questioning which category was this really in, because it's almost like spoilerish little. But then I remember it's like, no, you actually can.
Yeah, it's a fine line sometimes. So we'll do our best. But I'm excited to report firsthand on our impressions of what we see that we're allowed to talk about at MetaConnect.
Dude, I'll talk about how soft the grass was between my toes.
I still love
bringing down that hole. Just to be able to go there in itself is going to be pretty intense.
I still have this mental image of me and you are excited for the food, and then we go there and it's like, seaweed pizza or something like that. Just something absolutely like bonkers catered, terrible.
For comedy value, yes. The realism, no. What's the owner of the company?
Yeah.
Macadamia nut eating cattle.
Wagyu cattle.
Yeah, I'll pass on the
seaweed pizza. You don't want a seaweed pizza?
I've had some great 4-star vegan meals, but like the chef would come over and explain what each thing was.
I would expect a seaweed pizza would have some fish on it.
I'm good, dude.
Some raw fish.
Don't put fish on my pizza. No, thank you. I'll eat just about anything on pizza, but I'm good with the fish.
No. Imagine just like a fat slab of seaweed as the base, and then you put on some raw fish. That just sounds raunchy, right?
No, I'll pass.
Sitting in the sun in San Francisco.
Actually, their temps compared to we're much hotter than them.
Okay.
They're running in the 60s.
I always forget that, Northern California gets a little.
Yeah, it's the whole bay right there.
It's not just hot.
I think San Francisco also tends to have its own weather versus the majority of kind of like San Diego.
I've only ever been to LA, West Hollywood, and Long Beach. So all southern,
So yeah, we're running 80s. They're in like the high 60s.
Okay.
I think
that's going to be nice.
I think it's forecasted when we're out there, it's going to be like the high 60s.
That is going to be nice.
Right? It'll be a little treat. It's weird when you're from New England and you're like, I need to go to California to cool off. It just depends on where you go.
So Quest 3S definitely coming soon. I mean, action button is being referenced on the support page. We'll see exactly when, hopefully at Connect.
Yay. All right. This actually cracks me up for a multitude of reasons, but I guess the key word in it's going to be a massive success. So Meta says they're not going to work on any Quest full motion trackers unless
like we saw that came out for Pico
unless the Pico trackers are a massive success. So I guess the first thing it's not North America. So right off the bat, we know that there's the word massive. Is the headset a massive? Are they admitting and conceding that the Pico itself is a massive success?
No, I don't think so. I think it was said a little tongue in cheek.
So how many would they actually have to?
Right? What quantifies a massive success?
If you
is
don't
it your total number? Or your number in comparison to their headset sold,
If you don't recognize them as a whole being a massive success.
It's hard for an accessory to be.
Yeah, so that just cracks me up. But,
yeah.
Whether it was tongue in cheek or whatever, we know Pico's going to do it. And that's just the way the shit works, right? If Meta does it, Pico's definitely going to do it.
I'm so scared to get trackers one day on my feet because I don't trust myself playing Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu.
I don't need trackers.
I'm going to kick my wall so freaking hard.
I've been playing video games with either, like, think of the old Atari stick. So you're like a fist or thumb buttons my whole fucking life.
The fact that you can do
or keyboards.
Swing arm, you're more than happy with.
Yeah, dude. It's like, I never had feet. I never had hands in a game like that were mine. I'm pretty content, There'll be a time it'll just laser scan. It's over. Done.
Yeah.
With.
There's limited games I can really think of taking advantage of feet trackers. Obviously, like social VR apps.
I think the Pico ones weigh 28 grams, which,
that's pretty light.
a gram over an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing.
Yeah, that's really not bad at all.
Like the old high school days, stuffing one in each sock. You know,
almost be cool if you could add some weights to them for fitness apps. Make them a couple pounds. You could just do that yourself. They have those like ankle strap things,
Mm.
But let's see if Meta ever actually does it. I took that as a big comical no from them, because like you said, how can the accessory be a massive success if the headset itself
you
is
have
not?
to first recognize so I can read that two ways.
Mm-hmm.
They're legit going to wait and then watch the sales of it, which I think for Pico audiences, there's going to be a huge percentage that'll jump on it because it's there if it's affordable and
it's like their thing that they have that no one else that Meta doesn't have.
Just like we would if Quest actually came out with one, regardless of the fact that I don't need it in my life to feel like I'm getting a good VR experience. I don't.
You're saying you would still buy it?
If it was reasonably priced, yeah, it's an attachment for my headset. Of course I would. Why not? But what is a massive success for Pico?
No, it's a good question. But that's cool to see that they at least even acknowledged the accessory
They're
itself.
having fun, dude.
Yeah, they're crushing it.
Yep, they're having fun.
So this next one, this one was huge for me because this is something I've wanted to see from this game since launch, just so we can play with more people in our community. But Dungeons of Eternity, winner of Game of the Year, VR Game of the Year from us last year. Huge fans of the game, and especially when you talk co-op gaming, even in 2024, over a year later, it still holds up as in my opinion, one of my absolute favorite co-op games to play in VR, which, that might as well say in general as well, too. So Dungeons of Eternity, they announced that they will be bringing Dungeons of Eternity to Steam VR.
Which means the position they're in with the Quest build is where they want to be. And they wouldn't be wasting their resources.
I remember when we talked to Ryan about it, he had said that he was interested in it, but they wanted to do it right, meaning that they didn't want to just take the Quest version and put it on Steam VR and have it be a one-to-one. They really wanted to take advantage of being able to use the extra juice of the PCVR. So that means, without even looking into it, I trust that that's going to be the game plan and execution.
Yeah, dude. Well, look at the team itself.
Yeah.
They 100% know what they're doing. They have a great product. It's never gotten stale. It's been out for what, 2 years now?
Mm-hmm. I believe. I think it came out last year.
Okay. I'm gonna want it on. I'm wondering if we'll get the carryover or if it'll be its own.
I'm curious how they haven't announced. Maybe they'll do some sort of account system, but even if it's its own, I don't mind starting again. Right? The game is so good.
I'll beg for a Steam key for it.
And
I feel bad because I already own it, but.
They said it's going to, I want to see how much better the visual enhancements are. They said it's going to come out Q4 2024 and it will be cross-platform, meaning like
you can play with someone on Steam
correct. So like, we think of people in our Discord, like one of our Patreon supporters in Discord, moderators Amelia. I've always felt like that this is a game that she would enjoy, but never been able to play it because she's not on Quest. Now she'll be able to enjoy it. She'll be able to experience the magic of Dungeons of Eternity. And they did confirm with Upload VR that there will be visual enhancement. But that's kind of, again, based off of our interview with Ryan, that was a given to me.
Yeah, that's why I said the Quest version build has to be exactly where they want it and where they want to go with it, or we wouldn't be seeing them do this with the PCVR version. So I'm just excited, dude, because I do want to see the visual improvements.
And there are some VR content creators that are PC VR only, and this might get them back in the news cycle a little bit as well too, and expose them to a whole new crowd like the Amelias and such like that too. And it's a really good freaking game
for co-op. It's great. 3 freaking people, man.
It's so fun.
For real, it's like never gotten stale.
At launch, yeah, we were pretty kick ass. Like we didn't really lose, but now with their hardest difficulty mode, we can lose
the only way I play it though. I'm not wasting my time
on anything easy.
No, I want the best. And I'm telling you, because we're competitive, and knowing that there's times we're going to get freaking murked, it just feels so much better.
Any given dungeon, we can get murked.
I already know any other setting, it's like,
Is it even fun?
I'm gonna win.
It is fun, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I love the balance of challenge where I'm not guaranteed the win by any stretch of the imagination. You're gonna have to work for it. And with a team of 3, man,
that's when it's the most fun.
Yeah, you can still get murked.
I mean, how often have we been doing great in the dungeon and then one thing goes wrong and we get murked? Last room or something like that.
Someone dies.
All it takes is one.
You got 8 purple things chasing you around. You're screwed. Just tell you right now, you better just take the bullet. It's tough. You're not going to win that battle.
Oh, man, such a good game. I remember we went in once and I forgot that I had changed my free staff just to look at another item. And I had like something shitty on my back. And I was so like, no.
Right. No, I can't wait though. So please send us Steam keys.
We'll have to get Ryan back on when it's time for launch too, because I mean, I want to hear more about this when it's time.
I want to see what they do next.
Yeah.
When they
move on to their next project.
I'm hoping that they go somewhat of a different direction. Because, that's my biggest thing I love with studios, when they go complete opposites of what you'd expect, but still bringing that full-blown quality to the table. So it's going to be cool. Or they're just going to keep all their eggs into the...
Yeah, when we talked to Ryan last time, I mean, he had a lot of ideas, like a potential, some sort of campaign thing, like a set of preset dungeons to follow.
What's coming next?
Potential social area. Yeah, let's hear.
That's what I want to know. Just came out, Hotel RnR, which is rock and roll. But they actually do write it as Hotel RnR. And it is out on the Quest, where you can be an upcoming rock and roller, basically trashing hotels. You'll have over 40 different weapons to choose from. Not from the go. You have to earn them. And there's some pretty kick-ass ones. Really, I like it. You get to break stuff, let out some aggression. Obviously, you make a bunch of noise and ruckus, smashing tables and chairs, and everything's pretty much interactable for destruction. Housekeeping's going to come. We're going to knock on the door. Housekeeping. You can't let them in because obviously the door opens. They see that mess. You're in deep shit, man. And then housekeeping will get security, so you'll have to contend with that. But there's mini games you can play. Again, 40 different weapons that you can earn and unlock
to mess up the hotel more.
You work for the devil, man. You made a deal with the devil. So it's cool. It's actually it's fun if you enjoy that kind of, smash 'em up nonsense, and there's actually somewhat of a plot as well.
They describe it as physics-based demolition. That's a good description for it.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
And it is $19.99 on the Quest store, made by Wolf and Wood. So this is one that you told me about a couple weeks ago when it was still, we couldn't talk about it on the podcast yet, but you loved it from the first time you played it. I remember you popping in my kitchen. You were
early access.
You were like, dude, you got to check this one out. This one's silly. It's fun. It's impressive how interactable everything is. And it's currently rocking a 4.3 on the Quest store with 69 ratings, giggity, and 36 written reviews. So that's not bad.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't go down the rating road is because it's literally days old. And a fairness to it. Give it time to...
At least a couple updates, some time to respond.
Not even an update. Just, let more people get it. I'm sure a lot of those reviews, too, were people who might have had early access as well. But I personally, if you like drunken bar fight.
And I'm reading all the 1-star reviews. I'm sorry. It's just people saying that it's not showing up in their library after they bought it, which doesn't sound like their fault. That sounds like a meta issue, right?
Made a deal with the devil, bro. Some of you will get it, some of you won't.
That's kind of funny.
But rock and roll lifestyle. Only thing missing was the cocaine, which I can't even say. Maybe there is. Who knows?
That's funny.
You
made a deal with the devil. Maybe you'll get your game. Maybe next week. But so yeah, I didn't see 1-star review that was about the actual gameplay itself. It was all people.
No, and that's something they should have reached out direct to
the support about.
Yeah,
that's not the game.
Unless they're going to amend their 1-star. But that's a hell of a way to 1-star someone.
What do they think they did? That they uploaded some scam app onto the store that doesn't down? Like, that's What could they have done to cause that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I don't think it was them.
No,
it was the devil.
I don't fault them with that one at all. But I'm glad to see this one out, and hopefully they are able to fix whatever their install issue is.
I'll be in there more often, breaking some shit up because as the game progresses, your hotel rooms, you're like in a Comfort Inn kind of style hotel room to start, and then dude, you can get some
giant suite.
Yeah, and you make points and shit for the destruction you cause.
Yeah, I haven't checked this one out yet, but I'm excited to. I definitely got to soon. So far, we've had Walkabout Mini Golf, Grim, some Quest 3S teasing, leaks, I guess you could say, quote unquote, leaks.
Not leaks.
Internal leaks. Dungeons of Eternity. Dude, it's been a loaded episode so far. And what I'm so excited is that you can now pre-order Underworld Overseer from Myron Games, a game I'm so excited to see launch. Full disclosure, I've had early access to it for 2 months now? Something like that, month and a half, slowly chipping away on it. It's so much fun. It's a VR dungeon master game, but you use that dungeon master ability to clear out the dungeon of enemies and stuff. Super fun. I mean, Myron Games, they made Deism before, one of our favorite OG App Lab games. And in the pre-order discount, you can take advantage of a 25% off discount, which is actually a pretty healthy discount.
25 beats the 20. We've said it many times that
I mean, that matches the referral.
Yeah, you want to make a difference, you got to match or beat it. So now that referrals are friends only, it makes it even more
and limited to use too. So the game's normally $19.99. If you pre-order it, $14.99. That's really not bad at all for this game. Totally worth it. So let's see when the actual release date is. October 31st. Oh my goodness! Look at this on the Quest store that they do now. October 31st at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Time.
That's a new one. So that's cool. So man, what is that? A month and a half away? Yeah,
$14.99 is an absolute steal for it.
For a top-down strategy game of this
the
scope,
$19.99 for the amount of gameplay you're going to get with it is definitely a good deal.
$14.99 is a steal.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Highway robbery.
100%. So mine will be short and sweet, but it's kind of cool because there is a fan base for it. But Human Fall Flat will be coming to Quest, Steam, and PlayStation VR too.
Ooh.
But they changed it up a little. So each controller is going to represent one of your wobbly ass arms.
I never played the original. Did you? The flat screen version?
I feel like I did.
Comedic puzzle platformer.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen videos of it.
No, you 100% have. You remember the old Flash game where you throw the guy or the girl onto the bubbles and they just fall? It used physics like so good.
Oh, I think so. Yep.
Remember? It just endless falling and they'd get all cramped up and all that shit. No, I actually do want to try this in VR. I think this will be one of those examples where, I mean, yes, it's got a strong fan base already, I believe, but I think in VR it's going to just kick it up a notch, especially if each one of your arms is independent like that.
The trend of VR game or flat games coming to VR seems to be very attractive to studios right now.
Well, it makes sense. If you got a good product that's essentially made for VR, then put it in VR. I mean, what's the downside to it? You're not going to make as much money as you probably did on flat screen, but then it's there. It's in the wild. It'll be there. You can build on it. It'll eventually get to that, it's going to take years before the flat screen audiences.
And Quest, Steam, and PSVR all at launch. That's healthy. It's made by Curve Games as well, is going to be doing that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just a cool little one coming.
And then this next piece of news, you'll notice that we're trying to stay focused, trying to get through things. It's a loaded day. This might be our most ever episodes recorded in one day. I think we set a new record today when all is said and done. So we're trying to stay in tip-top focus, but sometimes it's hard for us. So Human Fall Flat, I'm so excited for that one. And another upcoming game, Guardian of Realms. It's a new mixed reality game from Sin Studio, the studio behind Swordsman VR. It's a mixed reality combat game, and it's going to have 2 modes at launch. A sandbox mode, which it's sandbox, so you can control the enemies, the difficulty, the occurrence of them, everything like that. And then there's also a survival mode that's going to drop as well. And this is releasing, I think, in early access. I don't know Yeah, it's early access. I don't think this is the full release. So I'll correct me if I'm wrong, but it's dropping September 17th. So tomorrow. That's exciting.
Yeah, today's
Tuesday, baby. So I'll definitely have to check this out. I love Swordsman VR. Sin Studio, great studio. They have 2 projects in the works, one of them being Guardian of Realms. So
I feel like the first time we talked to them, they had mentioned
wanting to do more.
Yeah, like their next project a little. So I've been waiting a long time to see what they actually come out with. And I'm pretty excited to try it.
They carved their way into it because they came to the Quest as one of the top PSVR games, but got the App Lab treatment and really had to prove themselves to get to the official store.
App Lab treated metagames.
Yeah.
So it definitely wasn't just
them or anything. No, but really had to earn it.
It was a weird one because their game was tight. It was ready for the store. There was no reason.
And again, top rated on PSVR and now PSVR 2 as well. So it's cool to see that, they proved themselves with Meta, with Swordsman VR, got it on the official store, and now have more projects in the works, including this one coming out tomorrow in early access. So I'm excited for it. And interestingly enough, it specifically says when it drops on September 17th, it's on the Quest 3, but that makes sense if it's a mixed reality game.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun with
some grainy ass black and white.
Fuzzy black and white living in the 60s.
Man, I'm so excited to see what the Quest 3S brings, because it's definitely going to have color pass through. You got to at this point. And then it's going to be able to run games like this for hopefully the cost of a Quest 2. Let's go, baby. But let's see.
It'll have the color pass through. That's all it needs.
And the processing power to be able to handle those games.
It won't melt it.
It just won't have the pancake lenses, is my understanding.
Yeah, I'm curious. What it's going to look like. But
I'm excited to get my hands on one when possible.
So on news of the fun from our buddies at Fast Travel Game, Mannequin has officially come out, right? It seems like it's been out only because I've had early access. Like literally, it feels like forever.
And you've loved it since the first time you played it.
Dude, loved it when I played it. Loved it when I got to play it with Henry and
I think Jamie.
Jamie was there, yeah.
Somebody else from the team as well, too.
Yep. And we had a blast. It's one of those, it's going to take you a little bit to really understand the strategy part of it. Learning how to play is like super easy. Click, 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 boom, you're playing. But you start figuring out those strategies and you play with someone good. It's a freaking great experience. But to me, it all comes down to them poses, like how you pose. Because when you're on the other side looking for what mannequins are not in fact real mannequins, man, there's sometimes you're going to stand there and the person's literally posed like a human would, not like you see the other mannequins scattered all around. But they also give you, if you're not the mannequin, they'll give you the ability to like launch a seeker type device out that'll ping anybody in that. So you could be frozen and be in the mannequin, and then you hear that thing come over the top of a barrier and you're screwed. You're going to have to make a run for it. Hope you don't get caught.
And the longer the game's out, the better people are even going to get at pretending to be mannequins too.
Dude, it's holding. I mean, granted, again,
just came out.
Game that just came
launch.
out, but it's got a 4.8. So people who are playing it are absolutely loving it. They brought something original to the table of 3 versus 3 type games. So hats off to them. If you haven't played it, I'd recommend play with somebody that you like. Cause dude, I mean, cause really, if
it's strategy based, right?
Yes, yeah. You need to play, depending on what side you are. I mean, if you're going to be the mannequins, I mean, and they taunt you too with like, if you can get to this area, you can unlock this, which will give you an advantage. So they really kind of push you to go areas that you might not necessarily want to go. And I'll admit, when I played playtesting it, I think just once we went to an area that would have given us an advantage because it just felt too freaking vulnerable. But I've got a lot of good poses down that work well for me.
That's one that we got to hop in together soon.
When you're frozen like a mannequin and they're not using at all the abilities that they have, which you really should, and that person's right there walking in front of you, and all you got to do is just reach out and touch them. Oh, dude, it's the best feeling.
I'm so excited to get back to our regular playing schedule. This week, every year is tough because you have the Big E these next couple weeks.
Yeah, 3-week fair.
And then the Garlic Festival right after.
Yep.
And then I just started a new job, so there's a lot of adjustment there. So
no excuses needed, though. It's life.
I know, but I miss our co-op game. It's time to get back.
This is one that's already on our agenda, so I like it. The gameplay's not long and dragged out either. It's like there's no way you could go full time with this game. There's no way. Especially when and again, work on strategies, work on your poses, work on poses that don't look so blatantly
artificial.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Unnatural.
They got some mannequins that are like in the air. So I don't want to give away my strategies, so I'll just leave it at I'll let you figure out your own. But I got some good ones that I can blend in real nice.
Their next game, Action Hero 2, that we tried at Gamescom, is really freaking good too.
I'm wait to get for my hands on that game.
My filthy freaking hands.
I didn't even ask when we were there. I don't know why I didn't ask. Like, when can we get this?
Yeah, right.
When can I get this? That's one that had me addicted, dude.
Yeah, that one was so fast travel, man. Bring in the heat. So Mannequin, huge congrats to them.
Good at what
you said what, 4.8 right now?
4.8 currently.
Congrats, man. That's awesome, and it's well justified.
With a decent, it's not like 2 reviews either. It's under 100, but still up there.
I've heard a lot of people on our Discord say the same thing, that the more they play it too, the more they love it.
But yeah, and also for game nights, dude, think of it. Just grab, you don't have to, you could do 2-on-2, what the hell? But for a 3-on-3, just boom, quick, set up the Discord meet.
Let's go, baby.
30 minutes later, you've all had fun. So it's nothing you have to play for hours and hours. But yeah, man, it's got that competitiveness that just oozes.
Well,
Jamie and I had Jamie's good though, but we had a good,
and you and Henry too, right?
Yeah. That was the first time I ever got to talk to Henry in virtual life.
So huge congrats to Fast Travel for what appears to be another successful launch. And
it's a banger.
I cannot wait for their next one after this too with Action Hero. What would I imagine is their next one? But nonetheless, so moving on, last one before the Patreon shout out for me. I think you have one more before then too. Thrill of the Fight 2. I mean, dude, I bought a headset with Thrill of the Fight in mind. It was part of the games that I knew existed before buying.
It's a great game.
Still holds up. It's like $9.99. I mean, they added Quest 3 enhancements with mixed reality mode, so it still gets love. And they announced Thrill of the Fight 2 around the time we freaking got the Quest 2. And it's been silence about it since. I mean, maybe like a year and a half ago, it came out that Half Brick Studios is getting involved in it as well. They're developers behind Fruit Ninja, games like that. And the developer recently said on Reddit that when they got involved, he pretty much restarted development on it. He scrapped pretty much everything he had done, which was my understanding, and kind of just wasn't liking the direction and restarted it. This is going to have multiplayer enhancements from Thrill of the Fight 1. So let's see. But they posted their first teaser trailer with the news that a release date is going to be coming soon. So no release date yet, but dude, I'm hyped. That's all they needed to say.
They're GTAing that shit.
I mean, it's one of the most popular games in VR still.
I'm a day oneer on it.
Yeah. Thrill of the Fight 2?
That's one I'll beg for early access for.
Dude, I mean, it's still the best boxing game in VR, in my opinion. The first one. And he made that as a solo developer. And now he has a whole team behind him. Let's see.
Nice backing on this one.
He said on Reddit that they're going to have room scale movement like they have currently in Thrill of the Fight 1. But if your room's too small, they're going to have thumbstick movement for multiplayer as well, too.
That's pretty cool.
Multiplayer gets me a little nervous. Let's see. But I'm here for the single player anyway.
I'm ready to fight you.
Yeah.
That was our only issue. When we want to box together, we got to play Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'd rather play
against each other. I want a full career. That's what I really want. Fight. And it's also not going to be exclusive to the Quest, but they're focusing on the Quest first, is the word. The word on the street from them.
Well, let's have them come out with the Quest version first.
Yeah. That's
right now, it's just a lot of like, I'm hoping they shadow drop that shit.
I'm curious when it'll actually.
Month. That'd be huge.
I'm curious
I got some dates in mind for him.
I wonder if it's going to be a big launch title with the Quest 3S, if it's going to be part of that marketing push. Because, I mean, it's a big fucking title, dude.
I don't know. There's a lot of
Let's
games
see.
coming out this month and next month. So
Do you want to take your last one?
don't
Do
see
you want to
them
pause?
don't see them on the list. Yeah, this one's not a long one. Kind of an interesting backstory in my own head about it, but the VR fantasy RPG game Sword Reverie, I believe I'm saying that correct.
It's one of those ones.
Is making a move to Quest. And it sounds like they had a nice Kickstarter campaign, came out well, and then kind of fizzled a little after that. So this might be a great one to watch, if nothing else, to see the effects on a studio when they actually go to the number one played store area that people are buying games from.
Give it the love that they always wanted it to have.
See if it slingshots them back into a more
Updates
positive cash flow as a studio.
Mhm.
So, but it is good news. We can't have too many RPGs in VR by any means.
There's not enough right now.
So I mean, I we'll see what happens. It's just a great thing to watch, to see what happens once the Quest players actually get to play it and what financial effect it actually has on the studio. Because by my understanding, it's not like they're buying islands at the moment.
It sounds like it came out and then nothing else happened once it came out.
And it might be a good eye opener for other studios who have not made that move to Quest, but have what they believe is truly a good game, but it is lost in the abyss of Steam, which is very easy to do. I was sending you screenshots of my searches that had nothing to do with what I was being shown.
Sure.
Now, what sucked about that is
You go, here's what's actually in my cart. You're like, I got to clarify.
because I send you the screenshot. I'm like, dude, for real, this is a thing, and it was so graphic. And then I sent you the screenshot, and I realized I had Helicopter Simulator.
So you
VR.
see one thing in your cart.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I'm like, full disclosure, that's not what's in my cart. And you're like, sure.
I feel like it
isn't.
would have said that it was in your cart on the store page. If you and the screenshot it was funny. I was
Then
like,
the
sure.
funny part, wanted to get it and start playing it so that everyone who's on my friends list would see me playing it. But yeah, heinous game.
Blown away.
Man.
It's
What
like the best
fuck?
physics you've ever experienced in VR.
Juicy.
Yeah. So
Juicy. All right. So that's that. We'll keep an eye on. I'll definitely play it. Not 100%. Maybe my game genre. I love RPGs, but just this where they're going with it. But regardless, I will play it, and more watching the studio as a whole to see what happens when it's opened up to the Quest masses.
like you said, can't have enough RPGs in VR, and definitely don't have enough now. So I'll definitely check this one out. And as always, huge shout out to our Patreon people who support us month after month. And, also huge thank you, like I always say, to the listeners that listen to us week after week. But
that is supporting us as well.
Yeah. So huge shout out to our Patreon members on our on-air shout out tier. We have Asim, Amelia, Carson, Earth Witness, Aspire Mike, Jake, Crispy, and Shoes. Thank you all for your continued support. And if you want to join that Patreon tier, you can visit the link in our show notes, our episode description, where you can become a loud and proud supporter, a supporter of the Ruff Talk VR podcast. Or, if you just want to keep listening for free, that's cool. We don't paywall anything. It's not a requirement, just totally optional. Same thing. You can go check out our Ruff Talk VR Discord, which, if you're asking me, is the place to be.
Dude, community is the best.
So much great Discord, or so much great discussion, VR discussion, life discussion, book discussion, movie discussion, game meetups.
We got discussions about discussions going on.
Our mod team crushes it with Amelia, Shoes, and King Canuck. They all do such a great job making the place what it is. And of course, the community as well. The people that listen and join that and help make it such a positive place is definitely a big part of that as well. So,
dude, you come in hot, you're gone.
Yeah, we'll kill you with positivity is what's going to happen. So
by the time I get a notification that somebody, it's extreme level, but get a notification someone posted something, and then I go to see what it was, and it's already gone. Because
we do a great job there. I'm very
it's a nice
proud,
clean house.
Very proud of the community. Very proud of the people that are there. Our listeners are freaking awesome, if you ask me. So thank you all. Thank you to our Patreon peeps. Thank you to all of our listeners, to our Discord contributors as well. And don't forget, you can also rate the podcast 5 stars. Subscribe on YouTube, your favorite podcast platform, all that stuff as well. So we got a few more news pieces each. We're trying to get through this thing, as I think we set a new record today. 4 episodes in one day. I think that's a new Ruff Talk VR record for us.
I'd agree.
Yeah, powerhouse a day, to say the least. A lot of interviews, but a lot of fun. And this next one is exciting because I remember when this one first came out in kind of like earliest of early alpha, and it's kind of gotten some improvements and such then, or since, but a mixed reality drawing game called Pencil is now available in early access. I think before you had to like join their Discord to get the, like side load it. Now it's actually, available in early access, out now. And it's so freaking cool. If you haven't seen footage of it yet, it's exactly how it sounds. A mixed reality pencil drawing game. I mean, I love these type of art games in VR.
I'm down. I like all the art ones, whether it's the 3D art or sketch or Vermilion, or they're all good.
And it's not just some sandbox drawing. It has step-by-step instructions. So for people like myself that kind of struggle with that artistic side of, I have ideas, but I can't draw them. This is a really, really cool app.
Yeah. Again, I'm down to put it through see what it's got.
And it's pencil with an exclamation point.
I already know I'm going to like it though.
Yeah, it is. It does have an exclamation point. So early access, come on, man. I'll definitely go in and spend some time in it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of posts with some stuff people have done, and it looks kind of cool.
Well, we're both very big on like the teaching ability of VR and mixed reality. Remember
how the Bob Ross one was, though.
Yeah, Vermilion.
Yep, they did great.
And then how about the salsa game?
Yeah, I can't wait to continue my salsa journey.
Piano Vision, dude. So many of these. The ability to
Paradiddle.
teach. Yeah, I mean it's a great. So I can't wait to dive in and give this one like a full in-depth analysis and review. Maybe not review, but opinions on it.
Yeah, once we get our
hands on it,
our dirty paws on it, we'll let you know. I just don't know how well my artistic, but we'll see. If I can produce something good, then they did their job well, because I can't draw for shit. So if I do it, and the Bob Vermilion, I was pretty impressed with myself. I was going in and doing my own based on the rules that they taught me to do the tutorial, which was still one of the best art tutorials I've ever done. I actually had, and you did too. You had a finished product that wasn't, certainly wasn't my butterfly from Vacation Sim. But anywho, so developed by Inner Space VR, the peeps that brought you A Fisherman's Tale, is coming One True Path, which it's weird because I was reading the article from Upload VR, and they make mention of it like catering to pen and paper old school. So I'm confused as to what I'm actually getting into. But it's going to be part 1, which means that there's going to be many parts coming. But it's supposed to come out by the end of September. So
yeah, I think the quote from the developer says, "New players and fans of old school pen and paper adventuring alike" is who they're targeting. So
yep.
I agree with you. Interested what that exactly means. Just
based on written verbiage. I mean, right below that, of course, is a trailer that you can watch where the graphics don't look pen and paper at all. So I'm very intrigued by it, and allegedly by the end of the month we should
have part 1.
Yeah, part 1 in our hands.
I'm curious how this is gonna play out. If it's gonna be like an episodic series, then if they're just doing part 1 for now, or
how long is part 1?
Dude, if it's a good freaking story, I'm gonna be so ripping my hair out to not be able to get to the end of it.
Dude, when you read the first sentence, you find yourself in a post-apocalyptic penitentiary. I'm not even going to read anymore. You already know. Going to be some shivers down my spine.
I'm excited for this one. A Fisherman's Tale is a very well-received game as well, too. So narrative-driven VR experience, I think they're going to nail with this one.
Yeah,
I'm excited for
puzzles.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out when part 1 drops.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm getting sweaty thinking of penitentiary because,
My fear, though, is just that I'm going to love the story and I'm going to want to hit the end, but it's only part 1. I'm going to be like, no, when's part 2?
Yeah, I don't know. I've got a lot of questions with this one.
Yeah, I'm excited. They have some teaser videos on YouTube
as well. September, man.
So let's see. I'm excited for that one.
Yes, sir.
I'm nervous about this one because you hard passed on it only because of a linguistic reason. Like our ability to read it is definitely not there.
I'm not even touching that one. That's all you, bro.
There's an upcoming...
I don't envy you right now.
Yeah, an upcoming game called Metamorphosis VR. It's an upcoming narrative adventure game. To be honest with you, there's an Upload VR article about it that uses a word. That's the one that we're tripped up on. Man, I probably should just try to find a YouTube video of the pronunciation of it.
After you say it, I'll tell you how I thought it was said.
Well,
but
let me spell it. It's Kafkaesque. Kafkaesque Adventure?
No, you just threw an A in there. You said Kafka.
Kafkaesque?
That's exactly how I would think it is.
Kafkaesque Adventure?
But I don't envy
So
you.
I was actually just going to skip that part when I read this.
It's just a narrative adventure.
It's just a narrative adventure game coming to the MetaQuest. But I'm real interested in another VR narrative adventure game like we just talked about with One True Path. Here's another one. And this one's going to be set in the 1900s in Vienna. So let's see. Oh, you know what's interesting too is this one originally came out as a flat screen game 4 years ago. So I never even heard of it before.
I did not.
No, dude, I don't know what that word is. Kafkaesque?
I don't even. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. When we were going over the news, I'm like, I can't even pronounce.
I think
that.
it's Kafkaesque.
Kafkaesque. Oh, that would make sense.
Like
right?
it's Kafka
Skewy. Kafkaesque.
Like it's Kafka-esque.
That's skewy.
Right? Like I say that sometimes.
Just mumble it.
Like that's Ghost of Tabor-esque. You know,
Metamorphosis VR is a narrative adventure coming to Quest.
But it looks good. I'm excited to try it. So it's going to launch on October 10th. Pretty soon we're going to be listing some games coming out in October as well too. And it's such a big list that we even split it in half. But I'm excited to check this one out. It comes out from Black Sun Productions as the developer. So let's see. Narrative driven VR games are I guess the hot thing right now.
I was going to say, man, I'm seeing a theme.
Well, I remember 2.5 years ago when we interviewed Chris Pruitt, he said that that's what Meta was currently looking for. And we know how long games take.
Mm-hmm.
So if
it
all
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's fitting the timeline of they were looking for that time. And, you know, you look at the development time that games take, they were probably greenlighting a bunch of games to start development around that time that fit the narrative VR theme. That's my just speculation on it. I'm glad I got that one done. I was nervous about that
And I think it was even brought up in the interview that it does take like an average of like 2 years.
2 to 3 years.
At an aggressive pace.
Mm-hmm.
4 years at a normal, like, hey, we're not going to be bald by the time we release it from the stress levels.
I would love to do another catch up with Chris Pruitt because, again, it's a whole different industry now.
Yeah, the whole.
And we talked
it's all changed.
And we had talked about, you know, how long it would take people to hit the full capacity, the whole full strength of the Quest 2. I'm curious if he believes if that's even been hit yet. So many questions, so few answers. Maybe one day. So you want to take the next one?
I think I shall, sir. Out now, so you can play it. I will admit, I played it.
Mm-hmm.
I
have not. You loved it though.
I'll say for single player, it's not my jam, but multiplayer, totally different ball game. But Frenzies Extinction from Click Games, killing zombies. I mean, but there's some pretty cool gameplay. I mean, a lot of unlockables, upgrades, but you really need that person to play with you.
Mm-hmm.
You really do. And they even like it's they pump it as a multiplayer sequel. So
yeah, a sequel to Frenzy VR, which I never played.
Didn't play Frenzy, but I'll assume maybe similar lore with the killing zombies. So I just only recommend playing it with someone. That's where I see the most value for it. But since they're even marketing it as a new multiplayer sequel, then what the hell? Play it with someone and have more fun. Mm-hmm. But that's the vibe I got even before knowing that was the marketing push on it.
Yeah, that was the first thing you messaged me after playing it. First time you go, dude, you need to play this. We need to play this co-op. It's right up our alley is what I think was your exact words.
Oh, yeah. This game's made for us, but you have to play it together.
Mm-hmm. So we'll trying to get through these last ones in a timely manner so you can get some good old din-din. Check on your orange chicken in the slow cooker. You got to let me know how that comes out.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So this next one, Freeland It's developed by Andromeda Entertainment. It's going to be a free-to-play online adventure coming to Steam and Quest. It's coming out September 19th in early access. And it sounds a little bit more like VR MMO-ish. So I'm real curious about this one.
That could be right up your alley, huh?
Yeah, but it's a genre that we've seen attempted many times. And, you know, it's a hard one to execute in VR.
And to have a good one, it has to be able to captivate. Because look at all the ones you've loved in your life. It's like they've captivated you.
Mm-hmm.
They've sucked you in. So, but I mean, that's a...
What I like is that in the description, they says, you know, that you have to forge alliances, engage in an epic battle. So the forging alliances, I feel like guild and city building, you know, guild, I don't know if you've ever played an MMO that had some sort of town building or guild building element to it with their guild cities and stuff like that. That was a huge element of Star Wars Galaxies that I freaking loved. I've always felt like the guild and the social aspect in terms of like clans and stuff is the biggest thing missing in the attempts of VR MMOs, because that's such a central part.
No, I get exactly what you're saying.
Look at Guild Wars. The whole freaking game is guild, and that was such an successful MMO. It's like such an integral feature.
Dude, do you remember how much they dominated?
I loved Guild Wars.
For years. Dude.
Guild Wars was good. And Guild Wars, you only needed to buy, and then there wasn't a monthly subscription.
Correct. What was the one that came out? What was that one that had the monthly? It's not World of Warcraft. Right?
Oh, they all have monthly. That's like the Star Wars. The Old Republic obviously has a free-to-play model, but that's a monthly subscription one. Like you said, World of Warcraft. That's the standard model for MMOs. Guild Wars was the oddity.
Guild Wars was it's like everybody played that though.
Mm-hmm. That one was so good.
I think people hooked up and got married because of Guild Wars.
Guild Wars was the shit, but nothing beats Star Wars Galaxies to me. Star Wars The Old Republic was good too, but Galaxies peak for social VR or for social MMO elements.
That's freaking awesome. I just know if you play one and you give it the stamp of approval, then it's legit. I actually trust you more with MMOs than myself.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk to these guys then, kind of get some more info on this one. I mean, what makes their attempt? What's going to make it successful where others have had struggles before, you know? I'm real curious. So due to some last minute scrabbles, I actually have one higher than you, so I'll bang this one out very quick. Trackcraft, they just launched a co-location update, which we always talk about how there's so few games that do mixed reality co-location. And here is Trackcraft rolling out with exactly that feature, meaning two headsets in the same play area in mixed reality can, you know, recognize that they're both in the same play space and interact with each other in that sense. Demio is the only one that comes to mind.
We did that
in Sweden. So, I mean, I love co-location. When you have the opportunity to have somebody else that you know in real life with you, playing in VR and co-located mixed reality is a really unique experience, but there's not many experiences for it. So Trackcraft is kind of, I mean, it's a perfect one for exactly that.
You're not flaring arms and all that shit. So
interestingly, Quest 2 and Quest Pro users can join a co-located sessions, but it has to be hosted by a Quest
3 user.
Yep. That's because the Quest 3 is the one that can scan the environment.
Yep.
So the other ones don't have the room scanning feature. And then you can edit the track area together. That's freaking cool to cooperatively. I mean, we might have to try that.
Yeah.
Maybe next weekend.
I want to give it a whirl.
Yeah. I mean, next weekend, maybe.
Weekend.
Yeah, shit. So. Why not? Maybe on the flight, you know? I'm just kidding.
Be packing for Connect.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that we banged out so many interviews today. Like I said at the start of the hour, at the start of the show, got to make sure we don't miss a week. And it was way more reasonable to edit this week than the day before we fly, right? So here we are, 4 episodes deep. You want to take? Oh, the next one is actually all the October releases, right?
October release.
So huge props to Trackcraft. One of my big regrets of Gamescom is not hanging out more at their booth. It was just hard to get away from the legendary, at this point, home of XR booth at Gamescom. Huge props to everyone that put that together. So, like we said, whole bunch of games coming in October. What we'll do is I'll read about half or so of them, and then I'll pass it off to you about, halfway through. So, this one, we generally focus on Quest, but, we'll branch out a little bit on this one. Max Mustard, a game that we love so much on the Quest, I got to talk about it. It's coming to PSVR 2 on October 3rd. So kicking off the month strong with Max Mustard. Then we have Metal Hellsinger VR coming October 3rd to PCVR and PSVR 2. Then we have one, I'm excited for this one. You're cautioning me not to be let down, but I have my expectations. I feel appropriate. I'm not expecting the world from them. But Mobile Suit Gundam Silver Phantom is also coming out October 3rd on the Quest. So we also have Snapstick coming on October 3rd on the Quest. Then we have, with VR support for a Steam game, but with VR support, we have Vestiges, Fallen Tribes, which we talked about last week, also releasing on Steam October 3rd. That, again, is going to be standardly a flat screen game that has VR support on Steam. It's a card game. I'm so excited to check that one out. Made by Wanadev, the studio behind Ragnarok.
That one has me very curious.
It looked really cool in the gameplay video we talked about. Then there's Another Door Escape Room on October 10th.
Had me at Escape Room.
Coming to Quest. It's going to be a series, according to some article previews on Upload VR 2. It sounds pretty freaking good. So it sounds right up right up mine and your alley. Like you said, you say Escape Room.
You had me at Escape Room.
But that's coming, like I said, October 10th on the Quest. Then we have the game that I talked about earlier with the esque name Kafka-esque, whatever it was. Metamorphosis VR is also coming out October 10th on the Quest. Then we get, this one's going to be big. Just Dance VR is coming out October 15th on the Quest.
Dance.
Arizona Sunshine Remake is coming out October 17th on PC VR, PSVR 2, and Quest, which we had the opportunity to try that in Germany, Gamescom. I'll give that one. I never played the original, to be honest with folks. I went right into the sequel because around the time I got the headset, we're diving through all these titles, and then shortly later, after the fall comes out, and then it was like, meh, Arizona Sunshine 1 kind of priced high, and then the sequel came out, so then we went right to that. So I'm so excited to go into the remake, and it was a blast at Gamescom. All the same sausage. Can't wait to do a co-op because we didn't get that opportunity, but co-op in the sequel was so good. And then we have Maestro coming out on the Quest, October 17th. One of your most hyped releases this year, I think. But then it's also coming out on PC VR and Steam on October 22nd. So October 17th for the Quest, 5 days later, the 22nd for PC VR.
Get your wands ready, man. Need your little conductor wands. All right, the rest of October, you talk about a stacked month.
Stacked.
Dude. This is a dangerous month, so buyer beware on this one. Vendetta Forever coming out sometime in October. Oh, I'm sorry, October 24th. Oh, wow, I don't have touchscreen, do I? On PSVR 2 and Quest. I'm liking seeing the double drop there.
It's getting more and more common, right?
Yep. The next one we're excited for, and they're doing it with a vengeance. Wanderer, The Fragments of Fate coming out Halloween, October 31st. PCVR, Pico, PSVR 2, and Quest.
You know my feelings on that one.
Yeah, we're hoping to be all over that one for sure.
Woodstock, baby.
Probably like a 5 second.
I know. I cannot wait.
I hope it's just a cinematic.
No, but the whole game, everything I've seen from it, though, realistic. I just be silly with that. But it looks great.
Then we got Underworld Overseer again, October 31st. Ooh, that's dangerous. We're already competing there, folks. Airspace Defender, October 2024.
So unconfirmed date, it sounds like.
Could be tomorrow. Could be, as you're listening to it, could be October 31st, which I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. We got Claw Ball, funny name to say, coming out sometime October 2024. That's scary, dude. I wonder if they're doing this deliberately because of one of these that's on the list that's coming up. Frenzies coming out October 2024 on Quest. We've got, Into Black coming out October 24th.
On October 2024?
October, what did I say?
October 24th.
October 24th. Ooh, they'd hate me for that, wouldn't they? Be like, you asshole, we clearly never gave a date. How did you know the right date?
Yeah, there's a chance too, right? That's why I had to.
That'd be messed up.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that was just a guess.
What, 1 in 31 chance, right?
Yeah, man.
I mean, Yeah, you would think if it was like the start of October, it would already be announced too. So I feel like it's even less. It's like a 1 in 15 chance.
Ooh, I'm scared. I didn't mean any. If that's actually your date,
No foul
I
play.
apologize.
No foul play.
It was just a total slip. Into Black coming out sometime October 2024 on Quest.
That was funny.
There's 2 that I deliberately saved for the last. This is where it's going to get really. And again, I don't see a set date, but we got bare knuckle fighting coming. We've been watching this one for years.
I think it's VRSO, whatever that stands for.
Bare knuckle fighting, sometime October 2024, and they're dropping hard on PCVR, PSVR 2, and Quest. Kaboom! That has a lot of potential and a lot of we're very interested. So
If I was them, I would maybe delay till November.
well, I think you see a lot of these open October dates, nothing confirmed.
Maybe to do that.
Oh, this last one, Batman Arkham Shadow.
That's why I would
October
delay.
2024, and you know when that one drops, it's like don't touch shit for
A week
month.
A week after, 2 weeks
Yeah,
after.
you're doomed.
Mhm.
Doomed.
If you're coming out
Doomed.
after Batman, just delay a couple
Oh
weeks.
my god, you have my sympathy. And what sucks is an Underworld Overseer coming out on the 31st, so they're going to catch the tail end of.
Mm-hmm.
The worst case scenario for them would be it dropping October 31st.
The only way that it's a totally different. Now, this could flip.
It's scary.
If they have the Quest 3S releasing in October and it's bundled with Batman, we could see an influx of new users. I mean, most likely we'll see an influx of new users, especially in the holidays, and they're going to look for other games. So it might not get overshadowed only because of a cheap headset drop.
I don't know, man.
But that would require...
I wouldn't risk it.
That would require...
That's a gamble.
What we have speculated and hope to see happen, like a $299 or $350 headset with Batman bundled into it. That's what we've been saying for months would kill it.
Right out of the gate, dude.
I mean, dude.
You
Bring
also
on
have
so many new
Wanderer
users.
coming out the 31st too. So
Yeah.
what if Batman dropped, freaking
The week
25th?
before?
Yeah.
If I was Wanderer, I would delay a month. They've already done it a couple times.
Oh, yeah, they're not scared.
They've already delayed a couple times.
That is your October game release.
Fuck, dude. October's packed
Yep.
city. And a healthy mix of Quest, PSVR, and Steam. I like to see it.
Yeah, some big drops coming. Dude, the Wanderer dropping Pico as well.
Yeah. I mean, they hit every platform.
Yep.
They're that's
The only
probably
thing
why
that's not
they
on there is
flat
Xbox.
screen. It's flat
Doesn't
screen.
say
Yeah.
Xbox.
Too funny.
Yeah.
So thank you all for tuning in today. Stay tuned for some upcoming interviews. Wish us luck at our first ever Meta Connect. I'm so excited to see the campus, see everybody in person again.
Mm-hmm.
What a loaded year it's been, and it's so much thanks to our listeners, such as you all. So thank you all for tuning in week after week. Like I always say, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, join the Discord. If you feel so kind, join the Patreon. Again, rate us 5 stars, subscribe, smash that like button, all that fun stuff. And we will check you out later this week. Ciao, ciao.